Remember I pray for the sun up. Do something they not gon' run up. All of these bitches was fronters. I trapped on the 8, I trapped on the 4. I'm ducking like all under covers. And now she won't fuck me cause she see the money, but I...
Well, it's me, back with another damn video. Today, I know I ain't been uploading much, guys, but it's just been a lot of stuff I've been doing, and let's see. We won't be reacting to the water, or not the water slide shit, that was the last video. We're gonna be reacting to roller coasters. The roller coasters that are banned and stuff, but yeah, let's go ahead and hop right into this. But before we do it, you drop a like, subscribe if you are brand new. Yeah.
Many thrill seekers would be quick to point out that riding roller coasters will give you an adrenaline rush like no other ride an amusement park can provide. That's why they're still very popular to this day, despite many reports of accidents. And on the note, today we're going to be looking at 10 banned roller coasters you can't ride anymore. Make sure you stay until number 1. This coaster story is so tragic you'll be glad it was closed down for good. Number 10. The Mantis Cedar Point. Let's start out with one of the most popular theme parks in the United States, Cedar Point. Though it's not exactly a huge park, it's renowned because of its picturesque location right on...
I'm just saying, man. Cedar Point, I don't know if I ain't never been there or not. But I can tell you one damn thing. That place is fun, dude. Like, I can already tell that place is fun. If you think Dollywood's fun, I want to go to Six Flags when I grow up, or Cedar Point or something like that. Sooner or later. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Lake Erie, and because it is the second oldest operating amusement park in the United States. For a few years, one of the top rides in the park was Mantis, a stand-up roller coaster with multiple upside downs. When the ride opened back in 1996, it was promoted as the tallest, fastest, and steepest stand-up coaster in the entire world. But in spite of its record-breaking status, the Mantis never quite became one of the park's signature attractions. Some riders in recent years have complained the ride was rough and uncomfortable. But one of primary were complaints of backaches and pain caused by the ride. Just like the good, smart people they are, and to avoid lawsuits, they completely redid the coaster so that it's now a dangling coaster. It's nowhere near the thrill it used to be, but the memory of it lives on. Number 9.
I don't see why they did that. Like, if I was there and I was working the place and I was working the thing, the roller coaster, I'd be like, listen, you got a back pain, get the fuck over it, don't ride it again, alright? Thank you, have a nice day. Shit.
The Thunderbolt Dreamworld Amusement Park, Queensland, Australia. The Thunderbolt was a truly amazing roller coaster located in Dreamworld Amusement Park, which is in Queensland, Australia, if you didn't know that. This ride was just one of the amazing attractions at this park. The park, which has been open for over 35 years, is huge and is separated into different themes, including a Wiggles World, DreamWorks Experience, Rocky Hollow, Ocean Parade, and even more after that. Thunderbolt was one of the oldest roller coasters in the park, but despite its age, it continued to be one of the park's most popular attractions, mainly because it was the very first roller coaster in all of Australia to feature vertical loops. Since the ride was so popular despite being old and a bit rickety, owners spent $500,000 trying to make the ride more comfortable with new coasters. However, it didn't work, and maintenance issues still raised concerns. So the ride was torn down in 2004 to make room for more modern attractions that wouldn't incite as much concern for safety. Number 8.
Again, the same thing. I just tell them the same thing. Get the hell over it and go on with your day. Go ride something else. It's honestly stupid. I don't see why they took them down. Cause like, the hell, I'd ride it. I don't care. Be honest with you, I really don't care. I'd probably ride anything. I don't know.
Jetstar Casino Pier, New Jersey. Hurricane Sandy left a lot of devastation in its wake. The intense storm was the deadliest and most intense of all of 2012, and the second costliest of any in United States history, just behind Hurricane Katrina. It crept up the Atlantic coast, wreaking havoc all throughout. Tragically, by the time it reached New Jersey, it claimed one of the most iconic roller coasters in the U.S. The storm swamped the Casino Pier, which housed an iconic Jersey ride, the Jetstar. This is a ride that had been around for decades and had been one of the greatest attractions of Jersey shores. By some miracle, when the storm passed and all of Casino Pier was underwater, the Jetstar had remained somewhat intact, standing in the water like the remains of a flooded world. The roller coaster sitting in the ocean became an iconic symbol of the hurricane's destruction. Special removal services were hired to extract the ride, which was unfortunately entirely unsalvageable after the storm. Number 7. The Gatlinburg Mountain Coaster.
Nope.
Gatlinburg is one of those towns that everyone goes to visit, though it's kind of hard to explain why it's such a tourist hotspot. Nestled in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, it's a perfect mix of a relaxing venue with things to do and outdoor excursions. One of the renowned favorites was going on the Gatlinburg Mountain Coaster. It was a simple track that seated 2 riders, one in front and one in behind, and zipped them down around the gorgeous trees in the mountains. However, the famous coaster was closed in 2016 when tragically a girl fell out of her front seat on the coaster and broke both kneecaps, her wrists, and a couple of ribs, while also suffering a concussion. While an inspection report from the National Association of Amusement Ride Safety officials did not show any mechanical errors on the ride, the mountain coaster team did admit an operational issue occurred where a worker did not follow the standard procedures for buckling lap belts. Rumors are still being...
I'm just saying that right there and then. Axeman, you fired a bitch, get him on out of here, and don't pay him if it is payday. That's screwed up, dude. You didn't follow the procedure, and you should have. You really should have, because you just cost that girl her knees, wrists, and her head because she got a concussion, dude. Like, that's stupid. You don't put somebody's life in danger like that. I'm just saying. And still, I would ride it. I don't care.
circulated about the ride reopening sometime soon. But who knows if anyone will ever trust the dangerous and poorly regulated ride again. Number 6. The Big Dipper. Located in Bainbridge Township, Ohio, the Giga Lake Amusement Park was a pride of the state. Open since 1887, it's one of the oldest amusement parks in the United States. Although they opened without any roller coasters as attractions, one of them became one of the park's main attractions when they launched it years later. One of the favorite rides at the park was the Big Dipper, a wooden roller coaster that had been open since the 1920s. All coasters get rickety and more dangerous with age, but this one was so well loved that it seemed to be pretty well taken care of. So if it was well maintained, why was it shut down? Unfortunately, after juggling between different owners, which includes corporate bosses like Six Flags and Cedar Fair, the park went under and was forced to shut down the ride in 2007. By the time the park closed, it was the 7th oldest wooden roller coaster in the United States, and the oldest in Ohio. The ride was finally demolished in 2016, ending the hopes that it could ever be bought and salvaged for future riders. Number 5. The Derby Racer. Safety procedures are there to protect riders from accidents while riding roller coasters, and everyone should adhere to them. Again, you should. Please, adhere to them. That should be common sense by now. But during the time when roller coasters were at their infancy, common sense doesn't seem to be that common at all. The story of this 2-track wooden racer coaster is absolutely tragic and horrific, but at the same time, kinda hilarious. The Boston roller coaster was very popular and attracted riders from all over New England, but not necessarily the smartest riders. In 1911, the owner of the company that owned the roller coaster was to deliver a lecture on coaster safety. He thought it would be fun to do it while on the coaster, so he stood up to lecture while the ride was still running and was of course thrown to his untimely demise. After 2 more people were thrown from the train in succeeding years, one of which was leaning out in an attempt to retrieve a hat, the surviving owners decided this ride was more dangerous than it was worth and it was torn down. However, there are plenty of rides like this still in existence today. You have to wonder, was it the ride at fault or the riders? I'm gonna go with the riders here. Number 4.
You gotta be a dumbass to do that, I'm just saying. If you lost your hat, just say bye-bye to the hat. Like, I don't care if it's in an area to where you can get it, that you're not going to get decapitated or nothing like that, go for it. But if it's from, like, your grandpa or something like that, I can understand it. But if you're going to get, like, chopped off or some shit like that, don't go for it, you dumbass. I'm just saying, don't go for it, because, like, you're asking to get your ass decapitated.
Or the Hypersonic XLC. Well, a lot of the entries on this list are about ancient roller coasters who finally failed, which was only to be expected after enduring thousands or millions of riders and countless rainstorms and tarnishings. We've got a few to talk about which were more modern coasters that were shut down due to the dangers the physics of the ride impose on the human body. The Hypersonic XLC of King's Dominion is one such ride. This roller coaster utilized compressed air to launch the 8-passenger cart up a 90-degree slope. Then we're brought back into the station, which sounds kind of boring until you find out the speeds involved. Riders would be going from 0 to 80 miles per hour in approximately 1.5 seconds, which is pretty crazy if you didn't know that. Quite predictably, many riders didn't realize that their bodies may not like such rapid acceleration. Riders who put their hands up upon launch frequently suffer dislocated shoulders from the sheer force of launch. The ride closed due to several lawsuits and has been replaced at the park, despite being one of its most popular attractions. Number 3.
And of course we got an act. But, what the fuck are you doing keeping your hands in the air? If you go at an acceleration to 80 miles per hour in 1.5 damn seconds and you got your hands like that, and your shoulders, they're gonna be fucked up. Like, dude, you gotta be stupid. Dude, people don't think. People do not think. I'm telling you, people don't think. It's honestly retarded how people act sometimes. I don't know, but you probably wouldn't have caused it to get shut down if you didn't do shit like that, people. Shit, dude.
Formula One. For this next entry on our list, we get to fly out of the United States once again. In Pattaya Park, Funnyland in Pattaya province of Thailand stands what has been one of Thailand's most fun attractions since the early 2000s. The country, which has been undergoing attempts to sort of rebrand itself as a luxury vacation spot, offers this one theme park as a competitor to parks worldwide. To try to keep up with the competition, they tried to build a ride called Formula One. The ride would have been designed like Virginia's Hypersonic XLC, using air compression to launch riders up the track at a high rate. After the ride was mostly built, designers realized the descent post-launch would be so severe that riders would experience uncomfortably high G-force. It's a little too intense. So the ride was never opened, but it was never dismantled either. It still stands within the grounds of the theme park, its ridiculously steep incline projecting towards the sky. Honestly though, props to them. They realized it before somebody got hurt. Now it's time for today's best pick. Today's photo was sent by one of our subscribers, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it on over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. Number 2. The Improbable. Today's best pick shows a roller coaster, or rather the tracks of one, set in a modern skyline backdrop. Now, it can be said that this could be one of the thousands of modern roller coasters that are currently operational, but as the name suggests, this is highly improbable. Just by looking at the photo, you immediately know that this isn't real. But if you're one of those people that instantly believes everything that you see on the internet, let me point one thing out. This coaster doesn't have legs to stand on. It would be cool to see tracks that are floating on air, but as of now, that possibility is still confined within the realms of fiction. Our best bet that this is a screenshot of one of those virtual roller coasters that are all the rage right now. But even that's kind of stretching it. For the reason this photo reveals something that only Windows 10 users will probably notice at once, the backdrop is actually a desktop wallpaper. So for those who are still hoping for an anti-gravity roller coaster of some sort, well, don't get your hopes up just yet.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it. It really...
Hang on one second, guys. Take my toe drops here. Yeah. Hey, I'll be right back, guys. Oh, shit. Alright. There's my tow truck, guys. Sorry about that. So, get back to it.
Word.
Number 1. Fujin Rajin 2. No part of this story can be considered funny. Located in Expo Land, which is in Osaka, Japan, this tall stand-up coaster was one of the most popular. The park was opened in 1970 as an homage to the International Exposition, and it contained a total of 40 rides and attractions. However amazing and popular the park used to be, the park closed for good in 2007 because of the tragic incident earlier that year. The coaster derailed mid-ride due to a broken axle, which inspectors later discovered had not been replaced in over a decade. And to make matters worse, it was discovered that this was true for the other coasters as well. Upon derailment, the car flipped. Most riders were severely injured, but one 19-year-old college student tragically lost her life as her head dragged along one of the rails for the ride for hundreds of feet. After the horrifying incident exposed how low maintenance could cause further horrors, no one returned to the park and was forced to close. Which band roller coaster would you have wanted?
Oh, hell no, dude. Somebody's head was dragged hundreds of feet, dude. I guess people, managers, and shit like that, they don't know how to survey, like, every week, every day, or every 3 days, or any of that stuff. Check it out, check the axles, check the tracks, make sure they're not derailed or messed up or anything. I'm being for real, dude. Like, come on. Like, you guys are... bitch. Number 1, dude. Number 1's gotta be, like, the worst. I'm just saying that, half of these were good, half of them wasn't, and they didn't even really get injured, but, that's gonna be it. Make sure you like and subscribe if you are brand new. That really does suck that you got drugged hundreds of feet, dragging your head. Well, I'll catch you guys in the next one.